Well, some of you know, I was part of the alternative music scene in Western Massachusetts when I was a teenager. I was really involved in the punk rock scene and straight edge hardcore scene, and some of that like heavy Christian music scene, what we called the scene at the time. I went to shows of all different kinds of kind of alternative music. And, one of the biggest bands back then, I graduated high school in 2005, was Underoath. And I grew up in the town of Westfield, Massachusetts, suburb of Springfield, Massachusetts, if you have any idea where that is, the other part of the state outside of Boston. And we had a really pretty well-known heavy band from there called Killswitch Engage. And Killswitch Engage had connected with Underoath to record their next album there in Westfield after like they're only chasing safety. And so they came to Westfield to record Define the Great Line. And I heard about this. A friend, had known the people at the, recording studio because I was involved in the, music scene there, and was like, Underoath is going to be here. And actually, this friend didn't think it was that cool because Underoath was kind of like lame because they weren't part of the more underground music scene. But so maybe he didn't think it was that cool. But I liked Underoath, and so especially because I was in the like, Christian music stuff at the time, and so I wanted to go see them. I knew where the recording studio was. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just like drive over there. Maybe they'll just be like hanging out outside. So I did. I drove over there. I parked my car and they were standing outside eating pizza, and walked out and was like, hey, it's Underoath. What's up? And they were super nice. They talked to me for a while. They gave me some pizza, and talked to Aaron for a little bit. He was super friendly. And after that, I left, and of course, I was excited. And I was like, I got to meet Underoath. That was really cool. I like didn't actually expect them to be hanging out outside. I just thought that was, they're probably going to be in the studio. I'm not going to like walk into the studio. And so I told some people. My sister and her friends ended up actually going back over there and getting to listen to part of the album while it was being recorded, just because they were super nice and cool and did that. And so then word got around town that I had met Underoath, and all sorts of weird stories started spreading around about what I said. And it was very strange because I didn't tell anybody anything other than, hey, it was cool. I got to go meet Underoath, and I had a slice of pizza with Underoath, and I thought that was like very cool. And all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know if it's a game of telephone or whatever. So this starts spreading like more and more and more. And the like whatever was said that I said had like grown exponentially within this like the week that they were there, and then eventually I heard someone else that had met Underoath was like, I heard that you did this, this, and this with Underoath, and all that wasn't true. And apparently they had remembered my name because they had told him my full name, and, and now Underoath was under the impression that I was like saying that I don't know what they thought I said all this stuff about how I listened to all of their music, and like we were friends, and like all this weird stuff, which just wasn't anything that I said, but whatever. This stuff happens. And yeah. And I remember somebody just telling me like, yeah, I talked to Aaron and Underoath, and he was like, oh, we just keep hearing about this Jordan Cooper guy. What's his deal? Like, oh no, I don't know how this happened. Well, those of you who are familiar with like the heavy music scene and with Underoath probably know that album was leaked, and it was like an unfinished version of it was leaked from the studio. And I know the guy who did it, by the way. And the guy who did it, who leaked this online, panicked, and because he didn't want to get caught. And he had heard that I had met Underoath and all this stuff, words that had spread about me. And so he started telling everybody in town that I had stolen the recording and I had leaked it. And so all of these people from my hometown ended up thinking that I was the one who actually stole the album from the studio and leaked it online. And supposedly, I don't know the truth of this, but supposedly that was told to the members of Underoath. I don't know if that's true. So I do wonder even today. I'm like, does Underoath think that I am the one who leaked their album? I don't know if they would even remember me, but if they do, apparently they remembered my name for a while. It was in that context. So yeah, so it may be the case that Underoath thinks that I had leaked their album. So I actually last time I was back, my parents still live there, and I spent a bit of time out there. Still, I don't live that far. So I still go back, and when you go back to your hometown, you see people that you know and recognize. And I went to a local coffee shop last time I was there, and there was this guy that was just kept looking at me. I'm like, who is that guy? Like, he looks familiar. Who is this guy? And he kept looking at me, but then hiding his face. Right, so he just kept going like this. So I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, what did I do something to this guy? What's his deal? And then all of a sudden, it clicked. That's him. That's the guy. and he's feeling guilty because he knows that he spread the rumor that I stole Underoath's album and leaked it. And supposedly he's the one who did it. I mean, that's. I think he was. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but at least everybody pointed at him until he started blaming me. So, anyway, that's the story. So I know I've mentioned this a couple times in passing, and some of you have asked about it. So I thought I would put the story out there that I became part of the history of the scene in some very strange little way. All right, see you the next one. God bless.